it's not because Texas beat Oklahoma. I think, Will, both you and Bruni were kind of leaning towards that Oklahoma plus 14.5 rivalry game. We've seen Oklahoma not be the better team and not just cover, but beat Texas in some years on paper. And your thoughts on this? Because I'll start with you, Will. Texas, it's not the fact they beat Oklahoma. They took care of business, and they took care of business against a team that is good and is solid. So, your thoughts, your feelings. Is Texas elite? I feel like they're a clear cut one of the top teams in the country, but are they considered an elite team by your measure right now?
I say yes, and it's because of the defense and the way they just dismantled Oklahoma. Now we knew coming in Oklahoma's offense is not very good. They struggle at the quarterback position big time with Hawkins. Um,
Mhm.
he has still struggled, but man, they got after him. Um, you look at what they did defensively. Um, Held Oklahoma 38 or 26% on third downs. They averaged over 8 yards per third down. Um, Held Oklahoma to only 3 yards of play. I mean, that when you do stuff like that, you're going to win. You're going to win by a lot. And they did it for 4 quarters. They got down early. It was an ugly start for both teams, but then, I mean, Texas, they took over. They outscored them 21-0 in the second quarter, and then from there, it
Yeah.
was over. Um, it was over quickly.
I feel like too, and to your point right there. I mean, and Maxwell says it right there. Ralph, you can throw that comment up with what he said. He goes, as an OU fan, them beating us the way they did wasn't surprising. And then he later on says, our offense just is not there. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not the fact that they beat them to me. It's the way that they beat them. It's the way that this team has navigated an injury to Quinn Ewers. I know Arch Manning's a good talent, but it just shows that this team is more than just a quarterback. And we've seen good teams when they lose their quarterback, it completely derails what they want to do. I'm not saying that I'm not going to go on a limb and say Texas could win a national title with Arch Manning. Maybe they could. I don't know. But I think it just shows that this team in general is very well balanced. There's very good depth. A lot of the questions I had in the preseason about Texas, they have answered. Obviously, a massive test that we're going to talk more about on Wednesday. This is coming up as they host Georgia. But Ralph, your thoughts? I mean, it's a well-rounded, balanced team, and they said, "Hey, we're going to lose our starting quarterback. We're going to put a young kid in who has a lot of talent, but he's going to be okay, and we're going to navigate the portions of our schedule we have to navigate, and we're going to look pretty clean doing it."
Yeah, I thought Texas came out and struggle at first. I thought, I think they had an interception first part of the drive, if I'm not mistaken. The first drive of the
I did
game.
not watch this game. I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the first drive. I could be wrong. It was first drive, yes. First drive was the game. They threw an interception, and he's like, well, this could be the downfall of this game. Just an early turnover. Oklahoma scores points, and then you're like, okay, well, here we go. And Oklahoma got a field goal. They got 3-0, and then the rest of the first quarter was boring. Punt, field goal, punt, all that stuff. And then the start of the second quarter, Texas took over, and from there on out, it was just an absolute bloodbath. Oklahoma's offense did nothing, just kind of lackluster. Texas was controlling the ball very well, made a few big plays. Had that big touchdown that the receiver fumbled the ball, or the running back fumbled the ball right at the end zone, and luckily his receiver was right there to fall on it. But yeah, I mean, Texas looks the part. Quinn Ewers obviously getting 3 weeks off after getting hurt. Obviously, it showed it helped. They said he could play last week if they had a game last week, but they got 2 easy games. They had Mississippi State and I want to say it was
He played
UTEP?
against ULM, right?
ULM. It was
Or
ULM.
UTSA. UTSA. I'm
Well,
sorry.
he got hurt against UTSA,
Yeah,
and then they
that's right.
played ULM, Mississippi State, and a bye week. And he looked good in those 2 games, and then you were able to give Quinn Ewers some time off and some time to recover, and obviously showed up very well in this game.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A couple notes on that. What impressed me when I was looking at the drive chart, Ralph, and you kind of spoke to this. This team was able to do it in different ways. So they're able to score in 11 seconds. Obviously, the big 43-yard touchdown run from Wisner. They had a 2-minute drive. They had a 4-minute drive. And then they stretched it all the way up to an 8-minute scoring drive, a 6-minute scoring drive. Like, this is a team that can I just think methodically move down the field in different ways, and I think they're pretty balanced. I think that they are going to be. I mean, Austin's going to be rocking this weekend when Georgia comes in there. I mean, this game's not in Athens. That's a big plus for Texas, and I think this team's elite. Like I put in the Discord, and you can see by my playoff rankings if you'd like. I think there's 3 elite teams in college football right now, in my opinion. And I think that it's probably Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. After that, I think there's a drop off when you start to kind of look at teams, or there's questions at least about legitimate questions and concerns more than just 1 or 2 that could be cleared up in a game. Alabama has them, Georgia has them. To me, Penn State has them. Notre Dame has those concerns. There's questions about the rest of them, and I think Texas is up there. I mean, look, and Dr. Bob says it, Ralph. You can go back and obviously kind of look at it. He goes, Texas beats Georgia on Saturday. They're going to be the favorite rest of the way. And I mean, I'd like to see, and guys, what their betting odds would shoot to if they win this game on Saturday. Like, if you want to bet Texas to win the Natty and make some money, you probably need to bet it right now, because I don't know what kind of money you're going to be able to make off of that. Gavin says, don't forget about the F1 race in Austin. Completely forgot about it because could care less. Yeah, Texas is elite. I think so.
Texas's offense. I mean, we know Oklahoma has a good defense. They're really good defensively. Texas did pretty much whatever they wanted to. Bryce, you talked about the balance: 229 passing yards, 177 rushing yards. They did it in a lot of ways. You know, they had the big explosives on the ground. I think more so than they had the 1 touchdown pass. But I don't know how you stop Texas right now. They have a ton of momentum. I if I'm Georgia, I'm not looking forward to Saturday. That's going to be a tough game.
And especially coming off of a performance against a not very good Mississippi State team where your secondary got torched. And that's something that I think is really, really big too. Dr. Bob also says, and this is very key, you go back to when they lost the Sugar Bowl, or I guess it wasn't the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, it was the Sugar Bowl in the playoff game against Washington. And Michael Penix and those receivers were able to have their way with the Texas secondary. Well, the Longhorns go out in the portal and they add some guys, they strengthen, they develop some guys internally. And this secondary, I think, has made leaps and bounds for them to be able to be elite. So I think that's really huge, just in terms of what they what they need to do.
Why do you think they ran off Jaron Thompson?
There you go. And,
hey, he's been one of Auburn's best DBs this year, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's levels. There's levels to this.
There is. Dr. Bob says, tell me I'm wrong. The return of the Lone Star Showdown will be this year's most watched regular season game. A&M is quietly moving up the rankings, and the game is at Kyle Field. Yeah, I just tweeted out my playoff rankings. I've got A&M as like the first 2 out. I think they're a pretty solid football team. And I said this last week, Will, for all the rivalries that we are not going to see, like Oklahoma State, Oklahoma going forward, getting this one back is going to be pretty freaking awesome when November rolls around in that Thanksgiving weekend. But Texas elite, yeah, we certainly think so. I think they got to be the odds-on favorite to win the national title. And like I said, if you want to get your money in on that, check out Bet Online. Bet 50. Use that code to match your $50. Bet whatever you want to do with it.
Deposit.
Be smart about it. Deposit. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. I was looking down at my little cheat sheet right here that I've gotten. And I just was scanning it and couldn't find it. Texas elite, I certainly think so, and these two fellas think so as well.